Okay, so first, we like to talk about your band, Death SS first, Death SS. His band. Then after that,
You want me to go there?
no, it's all right because I'd like to talk about some Italian culture and things. So,
I hope I can answer.
so yeah, first I'd like to do. Are you into that kind of stuff like Death SS and Polo
No.
Chain? No, not at all.
No,
But maybe
I'm a good guy.
yeah, but maybe it's an interesting, point to hear.
If I may help, I'm here.
It's I think it's a good point to hear the opinion from you, because
Yeah.
who is not interested in that kind of stuff. Because I want to talk about the two sides of Italy, because people may have an impression that Italy is a very jolly country, hot and warm, girls, food, but on the other hand, there's a dark side,
Yeah.
like goblin, Lucio Fulci, zombie stuff, and like another dark bands like Death SS.
It's everywhere, but it's getting worse in Italy. I mean, less and less food, and more dark stuff. And he's the master of the dark,
Yes. Okay, so.
L'ultima video profit, c'è ancora
Okay, so じゃあ始めます。So is this your first time to be in Japan?
Yeah.
And what about you?
This is the second time. I
Second
came here
time.
7 years ago with Vision Divine.
So what is the impression about this country?
Well, I loved it then. I love it more now because I'm older, and I appreciate even more your hospitality, your style, the way you perceive life. It's great. Yeah.
Okay, what do you think?
Well, I'm really impressed of the respect that you have with people and for the in general for the things. It's something that we don't have in Italy,
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of people have it. but
Exactly. I mean, everything works perfectly here, in my opinion. Looking from a foreign people, everyone is really kind, and respect each other. You take care of things much more than we do. That's the first impression that I had.
I mean, kindness is a high value here, and respect a lot, and then also the way people treat each other in order to get better for the whole community. It's not about yourself; it's about us. We're here.
Oh yes, it's a family thing.
It's the real democracy that doesn't happen.
I don't know, but well, maybe
Looks
it's true.
that way for us.
At least it looks so. Okay, so you play the guitar for the band Death SS.
Yeah.
But they split up a few years ago once. So what happened?
Well, actually, it's not the truth. Actually, the band never split up.
Really?
Yeah. After Seventh Seal album, at that time I wasn't in the band. But at that time I know that Seventh Seal was the end of a chapter for Steve. The Seventh Seal, actually.
Yeah, because the seventh one.
Exactly.
Yes.
And he decided to make the tour following the album, which celebrate the 13 years career. He also released a special DVD. And after that, Steve decided to take a little bit of time, being concentrated more in some project,
Yeah.
like Vogue, for example, or Sancta Sanctorum,
Yes.
just to explore some different kind of music. Always a little bit involved in some way in dark music, but different from that SS. And he also, actually, he did a lot of things. He also involved in movies right now. He did
Movies?
Yeah, in Italy he did some horror movies as well.
He's a director.
As director, as an actor also, and he wrote also some parts of some horror movies.
Oh, so he does everything.
Yes, because he, as you probably know, Steve is really influenced by horror movies.
Yes.
And he also finally found the time to write his own biography, you know. He wrote a book
that's
that
right.
unfortunately it's only available in Italian language. But I know that he's still dealing with some foreign publisher to release it. And you can find it, almost all the story and all the legends that are around the band, you know, which are really many. But actually, that's happened. The band never split up, just a little bit.
I see. It's just on hiatus.
Yes, and even when I received the call, just after the Seventh Seal tour, I received a call to join the band because Emil left the band. We did the Italian Gods of Metal in 2008. We did the headlining show, and Steve said at that time that it was the last show of the band. We released also DVD, but I knew that it was only a standby at that moment.
Okay, so you are releasing a new single this month?
Yeah, actually it came out Friday.
Oh, Friday. So what can we expect for the new album? Is it different from the old FS?
Well, as you know, every Death SS album it's always different.
Quite different, yes.
So from this album, I think that we'll cover almost all the old albums also. We have some songs more close to the beginning.
Oh, really?
We have some song more close to some electronic stuff that they had in some other albums, but it's something again completely different. Even because Steve worked with different people, you know, comparing, and I think that everyone's brought in the band something new. So it will be something again evil and strange, you know, with some great atmosphere that only Death SS are able to do, but something with, of course, the roots of the band, but and the experience that Steve has, but in a completely new way, I think.
So it doesn't have much industrial or electronic influence.
In some parts, but in a new way. In a new way.
It's different. Okay, so are you planning to do the tour or some live show? Because Death SS live is always special with, you know, naked women sacrifice and lots of ritual things.
Yes, because at the moment I can't say anything about the tour. Something will come for sure, since we are going to release the new album. But at the moment I don't have any plan, real plans to say, to explain. Because as you said, that the Says Life, it's more, it's sort of visual also, concerts, you know, with many things to organize. I'm sure that Steve is working on something much more bigger than before. He told me that he has some really great ideas to perform the new songs live.
Okay, great. So how did you join Death SS?
Well, I remember that in 2001 I played with them, but not supporting them. And I remember that I went to my manager at that time, and I told to the manager, please go to Death SS room and talk to Steve. Say that if you want a skilled player, just call me. That's the truth. It's not. And they actually called me 9 years later.
Oh,
and I know. I mean, the band where I came from, it's pretty well known also in Italy, you know. And so he got the chance to listen my playing, and he knew that I also like that stuff too. So when Emil left, also I had a connection in the band with the drummer of Seven Seal, Dave Simeone. He's a friend of mine, and he proposed me to Steve, and he said, remember that guy? And so we tried to play together, and it worked. So now I'm here with them.
Okay. So how do you describe Steve as a person? Because we have a very, you know, strange image about him. He's a very
As everyone has.
yes. But how is he?
Well, Steve is a very quiet person actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's but you know he knows perfectly what he wants, and that's why I think that he reached so many important goals in Italy, especially, you know, because he really knows what he wants to do and what he wants to get from the others, but I can say that it's really charismatic, you know. When you talk with him, he completely got your attention, you know. And even live, have you ever the chance to see many DVD?
Yes.
You see that he never speaks too much, because he doesn't need, you know.
Yeah, he has an atmosphere.
Exactly. So, but I can say that he knows, and I think that also I'm sure that he knows many things. He is the one which reads so many books, but many different kind of books. It's really a character, you know. It's
So do you know Steve too?
Yeah, I met him once because it was a DJ at a festival with my previous band, just shaking hands, and I had a cassette when I was a kid, and I remember there was a song called the Hanged Ballad.
Oh yes.
That got me scared. When I was like, I was 16. I wasn't not supposed to hear all that noise. So I was shaking because the guy in the hotel was staying for the vacation. Just gave it to me. That's all I can remember. And I played like a few years with Oleg Smirnov, who played with them. So I know a little bit of the story, but I cannot say I'm a fan of the genre. Honestly.
Okay. So what about Paul Jane? Do you know him?
No. Well, I told to Steve about this because, as he explained to me, he only played with Paul 5 songs, I think, during the entire career. Yes, that's what he said to me.
Oh, really?
And he also said that it's not in his opinion, it's something that all the fans, you know, think that Paul was involved in that sense, but actually he wasn't too much involved, because they only worked on 5 songs at the very beginning of their career, and and later Steve told me that he took the distance with that SS, you know, so he still doesn't understand why there is this strong connection with him.
Okay, I see. So I'd like to ask you about some legends about Death SS. I don't know if it's true, but I've heard a lot of legends about them. Like they used to play in the graveyard. They used to use a real human bone and things like that. Do you know anything about it? Or do you have any comments on that?
Well, my best advice, well, I like to keep this mystery behind everything, you know. But if you read the book that Steve wrote, and I think that pretty soon you will have the chance, it's going to be translated. In that book, I read the book, and in that book there are described really many of that legends, you know. And you even don't understand if are reality or only legends, you know. Well, from what I can say, from what I'm in the band, always happens something strange when you are with that SS.
Really?
Yes,
oh,
always.
That's very amazing. Do you have any example? Interesting example?
Well, it depends on the stage, you know. Something. For example, we were in Germany playing a show, and for a couple of times before the show, the light turned down everywhere, just before the show, but naturally. And actually, since I was pretty new in the band, I was a little bit worried because I said, whoa. But then everything turned on. I mean, always strange things, but even smaller things, you know. I mean, maybe more in when Steve was, as you can see, as you can read in the book, maybe more in the past, but even because he was more involved into some things, but it always there is always something not completely clear when you are out with that assess.
It's very, mysterious.
Yes, yes, yes.
I love to read the book by Steve, so I have to learn Italian
Yes.
first. But
But in Italy it got success because, well, in Italy Steve is really well known, you know.
he's very famous. So do normal people know about him?
Well, I mean, in the rock scene, everyone knows Steve. At least the name, you know. We also had the chance, for example, to take part in a TV series on the national Italian channel, Rai, you know, the national Italian channel, and we took part in a very famous TV series, and every time that the journalists or stuff like that need to talk about esoteric stuff on the main television, often Steve is invited.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then if he's on TV, so a lot of people should know him.
Yes, at least, I mean, from the rock scene, he's really well recognized.
Oh, I see. Okay. So I have an impression that Italy has two sides. Because usually people may have an impression that Italy is a very jolly country, like cantare, mangiare,
Playing soccer.
yeah, soccer. Because warm weather, good food, beautiful girls, and like that. But on the other hand, there's definitely a dark side, like zombie movies and dark music like Goblin and your band Death. Why is that? I think it's very strange. There are two, extreme stuff coexist.
I don't think it's strange. I think it's part of the balance that everybody has. But the more good you have, the more bad you may have. And so I think you like the mystery. You like to know that there's more than you know. There's people that like to know everything and don't want to know anything about it because they don't want to think. They just want to do. It's a very strange culture now because it used to be different. Since I was a kid, 30 years ago, everybody was more cheerful, more into getting together and stuff. Now, for many reasons, politically first, and for many other economical reasons, or maybe just because in Italy lots of people like things from the outside, and then like in music, even in soccer, they spend much more money for foreign soccer player than that they wanted inside. But so I think when you say bad and when you say good, you have to be careful because what is good for me is bad for you. And I think it all depends how far you want to reach your personality. I mean, I don't think everybody has a deep knowledge of what they are and how they perceive life. I think it comes from the culture. Our schools are getting worse. They used to be the best. So that's probably why there's all this bad content we have. And some sort of art and like movies, like music, like literature, they try to expose it. I know lots of people that rather think that life sucks because so it's not getting any worse. I know people that don't know that life is good because they don't even know they're alive. So it all depends in how much you want to see, how much you're willing to see, from my point of view.
But anyway, I want to say also that actually right now in Italy people is not so really happy. I mean, the
economic problem. And
yes, actually right now Italy it's passing that kind of really tough moment, you know. People doesn't have money to live.
They lost their trust in
Yes,
the system.
exactly. they completely lost the trust. The economical and political system doesn't work totally. It doesn't match.
Stealing is just a way to survive.
Exactly.
It's not a way of getting more. Even, I mean, we have so rates of taxes are so high that if you don't steal, like not paying taxes and stuff, you cannot survive. So what? I mean, there's no way to make it right, so you gotta do it wrong. That's why. But we're a little sad now talking about this.
Yes, but you know, it's what
It's also mind-blowing.
every day.
Food.
But we still have the good food.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
beautiful girls, so-
Yes, it's true. I love Italian food.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I've been there maybe 3 or 4 times.
Cool.
I'm in a band. I'm touring, so I've been
Yeah.
there.
But just consider that, talking about the dark side, you know, we have some city that really has something involved with dark stuff. Touring, for example, it's really esoteric city, and that's why also you can find the cradle for the horror movies, you know, like
Oh,
Dario
yes.
Argento did,
Yes.
or many other.
Actually, not so far from where he lives.
Yes. Yeah, because I live close to Turin. You know, there is a legend which say that in Turin there is one of the door to hell.
Yeah, I'd like to know something about religious, because you know Rome is the center of Catholic. So I thought that could be one of the reasons.
It's bad for sex
Yeah, 'cause
culture.
Yeah, because it's the center of Christianity, there should be a lot of people who are against Christianity.
I know it's complicated and it's changing a lot. Actually, from my point of view, what the church, I hope the Pope is not looking.
I don't think so.
I think lots of people are growing thinking that many great things, just as sex and other pleasures, are wrong. So you grown up and you think when you're doing sex, you're just stealing. It's just like that. So when you're a kid, I cannot go further because I don't want to get too into the detail. But we've got daughters, so we're gonna talk about it, not me.
No, I mean, the main thing is in Italy, especially in Italy, when you are a kid, the parents, of course, tend to give to you his same what their parents give to her, and so that follow the church is right, believe in what they say is right. It's something. It's something that you grow, that you have, because I don't know how to explain, but it's someone that you have because you need to have in parents' opinion. I mean, as you need to walk, you need to know that things is correct. But I mean, if you have the will to go a little bit inside, well, there are some things that are not so real, you know.
Yes.
And that's what we have some people that doesn't completely feel free, you know, because they are into this cage that someone other put in your head, you know.
You should be able to make up your mind and decide whether to stay here or not. Just like when you're 14, you decide if you're gonna be a metalhead or not. When you're like 1 year old and say you're gonna be a metalhead, that's not good either. So that's for church, that's for music, that's for culture. You should be free will, I think.
Yeah.
To be, but of course, has to be. I mean, a way of teaching to the kids before they're able to decide. So I mean, we have a strong history in our country, but of course, you got strong history, you have strong differences, because now lots of people from everywhere is coming to Italy. I don't know the rate. Quanti migranti ci sono in Italia?
Too much.
So there's many people from Africa and stuff. So and they don't even speak our language, and that's not good. I mean, I've been living in America for a year and a half, but I try to learn their culture and bring it home. It's not something that's gonna work. So it's a mess. But there's also great things among church people, great people among every. I mean, should be able to find the right people in every field. I don't believe the field is the problem. I think the problem is here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Few.
Okay, so would you recommend some dark Italian music besides that?
Well, if I want to be honest, you know, actually, I didn't see any real interesting band. I mean, we have of course band that try to follow that says, you know, story.
Yeah.
But I don't find, in my opinion, the two real dark bands, horror bands, still are still Dead Says and Goblins. You know.
Oh, Goblin.
Yeah.
Goblin is great.
Yeah, they're great.
But
I love the keyboard player.
that's how, you know, really the most important.
Originators.
Yes, and I mean, in this kind of music, you know, this dark horror music, you really need to be involved in the things, because you can't copy, you know.
Yes.
Because if you copy, people will see that you are a bad copy, you know. It's something that you need to. You have to be really involved in the things.
Yeah, it has to come from your heart.
Exactly. And that's what Steve has, you know. Actually, I want to be honest. I don't know any really interesting band, you know, coming from Italy in that way.
But musically, Goblin, I think, is one of the best act. I've seen them live last year, and it's just like prog, you know. It's a prog rock, and just because they don't have lyrics, they cannot be related to any genre. I think they're prog, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, they came to Japan this year, and I saw them. It was amazing.
Cool.
Yes, the Goblin are amazing. Amazing, completely amazing.
Yeah, they are. Okay, thank you very much. So, would you give us a message, or give the message to the Japanese fans?
Well,
as the fifth or Secret Sphere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's really nice also to spoke a little bit about that says, you know, it's because it's nice to. I know that it's really something great when you know that people discover some bands that you never think that came out so well also outside Italy, you know, because in Italy the TSS are really huge, and we have fan bases around, but I'm really surprised that they came also here.
Yeah.
That means that it's something really good that we have. So really thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much for being here. It's just worth lots of efforts and sacrifices we made in music, and it's much more easier to have a cover band and just copy. And when you do, I mean, if you do your stuff on your own, you know what I'm talking about. So I think a country like Japan really give people a chance to do it properly, and with the right audience, with the right attention to details, to the music, to the lyrics. And I was amazed yesterday when we see people collecting things, our things, just like I used to do with Kiss when I was a kid. I felt like, wow, this is real. Because when you do it and anybody else do it, you think you're crazy, so you stop doing it. But now that I came here, first thing I'm gonna do back home, I already bought a Kiss record again. I just bought Destroyer for the 6th time.
Japanese version?
You know the what was it called, the Resurrection version. They brought the original tapes and they remastered it from the original with the original producer, which for me is just like the Bible, a great version of the Bible. Well, maybe that was not the right book to talk about now. But thank you, it's great, and we hope to come here back soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks to you.
Thank you very much.
What's the name of your band?
Well, it's SIGH, Psy, but it's some kind of avant-garde black metal stuff, so I don't think you will like it.
Ah,
But
don't care. I mean, you ever happen to come to play to Italy?
Yeah, we're gonna play at some festivals like Road Burning, the Netherlands. We're gonna play in Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Finland, and maybe Latvia, but unfortunately not in Italy.
Are you going to Norway, right?
We got an offer for Inferno Festival, but we couldn't make it.
Inferno is a really big
Yeah.
festival.
Yeah, we played there a few years ago, and this year we had an offer again, but
Do you sing? Do you play?
I play keyboards and I sing. I sing.
Keyboards?
Yes, I play
Cool,
keyboards. Yeah, but actually I sing, but I should say I scream rather than.
Okay. Straight. I mean, can I say something? Everybody here in Japan have high pitch voices, and very few person, and you're one of them, has low voices. But
Like-
because you have your good resonance, it's not because you have a low voice. You have lows.
Yes, that's true.
And you developed it. It's amazing how you do it.
Yeah, I have a low voice as a Japanese. I think it's.
Yeah, you have lows
Yeah,
instead of low
yes.
voice.
Yeah, right.
Because I can see from your throat it's not big, but it's amazing how you use it. I'm fascinated by the
Yeah, I
voices.
think so, especially when I speak English.
You speak different, right? Me too. When I speak
Yeah.
Italian, my mia voce è più alta quando parlo italiano, and when I speak English, it's like
Yeah, it's just when you speak English, it has to have, low resonance.
yeah, but you speak greatly. How come you lived?
Notice I'm just touring, and so.
Yeah, but
that's
how
it.
come you speak so well?
I don't know. I learned English through metal. So
Are you kidding?
yeah, I'm sure it's true. So
What's your IQ? Like 200?
no ways.
I speak great. Wow. And how old are you?
I'm actually 42.
See?
How old are you?
I'm 35.
Really?
Yes, you look younger.
Yeah, because the Japanese people
Looks
look much younger. Much
Yeah.
younger.
We kept asking to everybody because we're depressed about it.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Oh, so I'm close to me. Just,
See? So,
Which level you are signed?
candlelight.
Ah, Candlelight. From France, right?
No, from the UK.
Ah, UK, okay. Nice.
How old is Steve?
I don't know.
Sure.
Really, I know. But Steve looks really young.
Really? That's it?
Yes, yes.
Ah, that's good.
It's some of
I
don't know.
It's like in
some
Facebook.
sorcery, some I don't know.
It's
But
like Facebook. You can change your date of birth.
See, but he has to be over 50 now. Nobody knows.
Maybe not.
Ah,
You know,
no,
maybe
I
I know something because when he did the first record, they were like him and the other guy.
Mhm.
They were like 13 or 14 or something. And the first record is
First year was
77.
from 77, I think.
So maybe
Ma
he
chi?
knows everything.
Ma 30 anni nel senso.
Maybe he's like 10 years older than me.
So 48.
Yeah, something like that.
But he doesn't look like that.
He's
But actually, I
Japanese.
don't know.
He's Japanese too.
Yeah, I'd love to see Death as live someday.
Well,
Wife?
it's really something that I like to perform with them. It's because there is also, for the visual things, it's a show.
Yeah, it is.
What's the difference for you between that and Alice Cooper and Marilyn Manson?
Well, Marilyn Manson is totally different. Alice
Okay.
Cooper and Death is quite close, and because Death should have been influenced by Alice Cooper. very
Yeah,
much.
bit.
Well, I'm not a big fan of Marilyn Manson, but I love Alice Cooper. I love it.
But truth is that I know because I've been living in LA for 6 months. Everybody knows that Alice Cooper is the nicest guy and plays golf all the time. and to him, it's just a way to going on stage. Is just a way to expose what is not.
Yeah, it's true, but it's still
But I think the other guy is different.
Steve.
Yeah.
I don't know, because when I met Steve for the first time, I was thinking the same. I don't know how to talk with Steve, you know. But Steve just entered the room and said, "Oh, okay, really, really quite nice."
You know when they say that comics are sad in real life, maybe something like that. So if someone is like very bad and then he's good,
I don't know.
Cool.
Anyway, thanks.
Yeah, it was cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Sorry for our
Nah, it's okay.
age. Just say we're like 48 and 49.